Have you ever met someone incredibly brilliant? Someone whose mind just sparks with ideas, yet they struggle to reach their full potential? Or maybe you've wondered if raw intelligence is really the only thing that determines success. Today, I want to share a story that will challenge that very idea. A story about a young man who discovered a truth far more powerful than any IQ score. Meet Ryan. From a young age, Ryan was undeniably gifted. His teachers often talked about his quick wit, his ability to grasp complex concepts with ease, and his natural curiosity. He was the kind of student who could ace a test with almost no studying, seeming to absorb information out of thin air. Everyone, including Ryan himself, believed he was destined for greatness. Yet, underneath that shimmering intellect was a huge challenge. Ryan was easily distracted, a wanderer of thought, and fundamentally undisciplined. This lack of discipline became painfully obvious when it was time for a crucial scholarship exam and opportunity that could pave his way to a prestigious university. Ryan, confident in his own intelligence, approached the exam with his usual casual attitude. He knew the material, or so he thought. But during the test, his mind drifted. A bird outside the window, a half-remembered joke, a craving for a snack. Every tiny distraction became an irresistible detour. When the results came in, the shock was profound. Ryan, the brilliant one, had failed. It wasn't because he didn't know enough. It was because he couldn't focus. It was then he had a stark realization. Intelligence alone was a beautiful but untamed beast. Discipline, he understood, was the reins. The sting of failure ignited a new kind of fire within Ryan. He knew he needed help, not with academics, but with himself. He began to seek guidance, eventually hearing whispers of an old, wise mentor known simply as Coach Miller. Coach Miller wasn't a tutor. He was a life coach, famous for teaching people how to master their minds, not just their subjects. Ryan found Coach Miller in a quiet, unassuming dojo far from the bustling city. Coach Miller, with his calm demeanor and piercing eyes, listened patiently to Ryan's story. When Ryan finished, the coach simply picked up a bow and a single arrow. "Ryan," he said, his voice soft yet resonant, "tell me, what is the purpose of this arrow?" Ryan, a little puzzled, replied, "To hit the target, coach." Coach Miller nodded. Precisely. But imagine if, as you drew the string, your eyes wandered to the leaves rustling in the trees, or to the clouds drifting overhead. Would the arrow find its mark? Ryan shook his head. "No, coach. It would go astray. And so it is with your mind." Coach Miller continued, "Your intelligence is the powerful bow. Your potential, the arrow. But without unwavering focus, without discipline to keep your gaze fixed only on your target, that arrow of potential will never reach its destination. It'll be lost to the winds of distraction." Coach Millen then laid out his foundational principles. 4 rules for cultivating discipline, not as a chore, but as a path to true freedom. First, he explained, control your thoughts. Your mind is a garden. Pull out the weeds of distraction and negative self-talk, and plant seeds of purpose and positivity. Second, build intentional habits. Small, consistent actions, repeated daily, forge powerful pathways in your brain. Don't rely on motivation. Rely on routine. Third, avoid distractions ruthlessly. Identify your biggest time wasters and energy sinks, and consciously remove them from your environment. Create a sanctuary for your focus. And fourth, practice daily, without exception. Discipline is a muscle. It grows stronger with consistent effort, even on days you don't feel like it. Ryan took these words to heart. His journey wasn't easy. The wild horse of his mind didn't immediately bend to his will. He struggled to control his wandering thoughts during study sessions, battled the urge to check his phone every few minutes, and found it hard to stick to his new routines. There were days of frustration and doubt, but he remembered Coach Miller's bow and arrow and the promise of a focused mind. Slowly, painstakingly, he began to apply the rules. He started with just 5 minutes of uninterrupted focus, gradually extending it. He created a dedicated study space, free of distractions. He journaled his thoughts, recognizing patterns of distraction and actively redirecting his attention. Over time, The transformation was remarkable. Ryan's focus sharpened like a newly honed blade. He no longer merely understood concepts. He mastered them. His grades soared, not because he became smarter, but because he became more effective. He learned to direct his considerable intelligence with precision. He not only passed his next scholarship attempt with flying colors, but excelled in every academic pursuit thereafter. The core lesson he carried forward, and one I share with you today, is this: your mind is indeed like a wild horse, full of untamed power and boundless energy. But if you train it with the firm, gentle hand of discipline, if you teach it to focus on your chosen destination, it will not only take you there, but will carry you further than you ever imagined, far beyond the limits of mere innate talent. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you master your focus and master your life.